and then we'll move right into our dignitary speakers here. Our Vice Chief DeRoche, Board of Education, Amanda Ernest, Chief Amanda Ernest, Dolores Netmaker, and also Patricia St. Denis. And then we're going to have lunch. Lunch is got to be right at 12 to 1. And it's very important that we follow that protocol of lunch. So if you haven't got a chance to look at the agenda here this afternoon, we're going to have Cody Montour Okima is going to be our first keynote. And then, everybody, we just met a young man here. He's a rapper. He's going to be speaking. So all the young people here today, you know, I commend you for your courage and your bravery to be able to stand up here in front of all your relatives. Anybody lose a phone in woman's washroom? I hope it's not you. What are you doing in the woman's washroom? Gray. Yeah, let me see. You got to open it in front of me. Or else $20. Don't leave your phones in the washroom here. I'm going to need some sanitizer. Yeah. Interesting how cell phones, hey? Before we get started, I got to share this with you guys, man, because I've the last few weeks, you know, being on social media and creating all the content, whatever, I'm addicted to Facebook and Instagram, all social media. So I deleted the apps and I had to do my own research. In the first week, I dropped 2 hours of screen time. 2 hours. So I was averaging about 9 hours a day on Facebook and Instagram. And so I had enough, I said, and I am back on now. I recently lost a friend, and you know, that was the reason I downloaded them. And then it stayed 2 hours, and then it dropped. It stayed about the same. And then once, you know, this is how much it controls us that, you know, that escape from reality, my hours went back up again. So it tells me that how much we rely on social media and our phones, and if we feel disconnected. So that is something to be mindful of as we gather here for this education conference here, Full Circle 2026. So anybody else? Are we missing anybody? We're going to go right into it too, ladies and gentlemen. We kind of have to follow the lunch time as well. So be mindful. "11 miles. Also, we've got some celebrities in the house here too. Colin Chief, are you still here? Quiet down. Yeah, he's a celebrity. There he is. I couldn't hear you. Let's hear that laugh. Yay. And also, I saw another guy there from Shorzy. Shorzy. Kite to a hat, right? Is it Harlan? Where is he? Where did he go? Is he hiding? He must have stepped out. So right from Makwa to the big screen. Is he here? No, eh? He must have left. So let me know if you guys see him again. And if you haven't got a chance to see the Shorzy, It plays on Crave. He is the manager of the hockey team. So a good friend of mine is Goodleaf, a character from Lac Brochet, Manitoba. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, once we get the high sign, when we're ready back there, the Cree, we're going to go, the Cree? Oh, Waterhen Juniors. Sorry. Yeah, I won't. Someone told me it was the Cree. I was like, where's the Chief brothers here? You should have told me they're calling. Man, oh man. Yeah. That's how much power that guy has, even without, eh? It's going to be Chief. Came back from America because he didn't like Trump, hey? That's why he said, I'm gonna move out of Washington State here and head back north. Run for council. Thank you. I'm glad you did. I am, you know. I miss your videos, but I'm glad you're here and representing your community. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, one photo. I think Sydney is ready. We got all the flags. We need one more. We need one more flag carrier, unless... Holy, that camera is pretty good, eh? You could just see that I'm balding in that camera. Turn it away there, cameraman. We got the high sign, Sydney. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Waterhen Juniors. There we go. Grand entry time. Education staff, please line up in grand entry, please. Grand entry time, ladies and gentlemen, 2026 Full Circle Education Conference right here on Treaty 6 territory, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Education staff, grand entry. Grand entry time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everybody, at this time. We welcome our dancers, our Eagle staff, as we gather here to honor the teachers and the knowledge keepers. The continuation of our education and our culture. Welcome, teachers, educators, learners, dignitaries, and our elders of each and every community. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment where we recognize the presence of those who carry the knowledge and the teachings and the responsibility within our nations to continue our language and culture, the representation, the elders, the knowledge keepers who ensure that protocol is followed, the elders who lifted the pipe this morning and the prayers rendered. Thank you. Our chief and councils, our leaders, dignitaries, welcome 2026 Full Circle Conference. Our flag carriers from each nation, welcome. Haka. It's the strength of our people of coming together to celebrate as one, ladies and gentlemen, to share the knowledge. Please welcome our grand entry, Haka. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and relatives, as our elders, our Eagle staff is brought into the room, we ask that you honor them and welcome them. Also, every flag of every community, every child matters, the Treaty 6 flag, the Métis Nation flag, the Canadian flag, Kenulek Cree Nation, English River First Nation, Meadow Lake Tribal Council, Clearwater River Dene Nation, Buffalo River Dene Nation, Birch Narrows Dene Nation, Waterhen Lake First Nation, Makwa Sagaigan, Minnesticwan Lake Cree Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our elders, our educators, our staff from each community and each department. Please remain standing and honor them. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and relatives, our grand entry, our Eagle staff, elders, dignitaries, welcome. Once again, 2026 Full Circle Conference here. Thank you. Waterhen Juniors, JR. Up next, we're going to have our victory song. So please remain standing if you're able to. If you need a break, I know a lot of elders out there as well. It's okay. So please remain standing. Flag song and then victory song here. Sydney told me other way around. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and relatives, our flag song. Thank you, Waterhen Juniors. We honor each nation. Now the victory song. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we honor everybody, each and every one of you here that are present with us. Dance along, if you will. Feel the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Feel it all through your bones. Ahoo, hey. 2026 Grand Entry Full Circle Education Conference, ladies and gentlemen. As we gather here once again to share our knowledge and teachings, to take home to our young people. The young people are the future of each and every community, and it's important that we honor them. Masicho aho hai hai. Thank you. Masi cho, hi. This time I'm going to ask the Dene drummers to come on up here as they sing one song that they brought from their community. So please remain standing for one more song. Tuzzy, you guys are good there? Alrighty. Dylan Dene drummers, Buffalo River Dene Nation drummers, once again, please remain standing. Thank you. Masi. Thank you, thank you. Masicho, thank you very much. Please be seated. Court is now in session. Hey, just everybody look back, eh? They got scared. Who's got warrants? We'll get our flags up here, and then we will bring on a couple of speeches. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much. Waterhen JRS? JRs, yeah. K? ZRs? JRZ. JRZ. Not a fan of these. Test. Okay, there. That sounds better. Yeah. So once again, thank you very much. Our program is going to begin, so please remain seated. Welcome. Have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. 2026. So just a couple announcements before I get into the welcome remarks here. If you are parked across the way, don't leave anything in your vehicle that is valuable. I remind you over and over and over again today. And I have firsthand experience. I lost a MacBook backpack. The last time we were here, we had about 5 vehicles broken into. That's in the parking lot across. So if you're parked there, please remember. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Let us begin. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Before we begin, I want to take this moment to acknowledge that the land we're on here in the Treaty 6 territory, the homelands of all the First Nations nearby, near and far, and also the Métis people, you know, the people that take care of this land here in the Saskatoon area. Thank you very much for being the stewards of this land. I would like to also acknowledge our elders this morning who lifted the pipe and, rendered the prayers as they do in each event that MLTC hosts, wherever it may be in each nation or in the city. So thank you very much for the elders who lifted the pipe this morning. I know it's also important that they honor each community. You know, we've got the Dene and the Cree and MLTC as well. So thank you very much for being able to do that as the elders. You know, they carry a lot of knowledge and history that connects the past to where we are today. So it's important that we continue to honor them as we move forward and we learn the wisdom that is going to be passed on to us here in the next few days. So good morning and welcome everyone to the Full Circle Conference, Education Conference 2026. My name is Willis Janvier, Tintelas Tours in La Loche, Saskatchewan, Clearwater River Dene Nation, band member Heslio, and Duhun, I live in Moose Jaw, so thank you very much. It is an honor to be your MC here once again for the second year in a row, man. And as we gather today to share each and every one of our teachings from each community for us to pass on and make sure we commingle in a good way, that we're able to learn from each other and take our knowledge, experiences, and stories home that we can teach our young people as educators. You know, the idea of full circle is that everything comes full circle back around to each and every one of us. As we were students ourselves in our communities, And now we're there to serve the young people, the next generation, to pass on our language and culture, the teachings, to pursue a higher education, to come back home and continue on that legacy that we leave on here from, the past, the present, and the future. So today brings together educators, leaders, community members, and knowledge keepers who all play an important role in supporting learners. So this is an opportunity to listen, which is very important because this afternoon we're going to have the young people come up here and present to each and every one of you. I encourage everyone to take this time to build those connections. If you've never met anyone, I'm sure we've all seen each other around, whether it's the Full Circle Conference or another MLTC conference, to exchange ideas and how we can strengthen each and every one of us. So thank you all for being here. Welcome, welcome in Cree. I wish you all a good few days, and remember the well-being of our children. That's what we are here for today. So Masicho, once again, welcome Full Circle Education Conference 2026. Give everybody a round of applause. Masicho. So before I invite our first speaker up here, the QR code on your tables, okay, you have to connect to the Wi-Fi in order to get the QR code. So quick reminder, you have to connect. So we'll leave it up there. Producer man, thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to have our speakers come up here, our dignitaries come up, starting with a man who needs no introduction. He's got the voice of an angel, Vice Chief Richard DeRoche. So give him a big round of applause. Thank you. Hi, Masicho.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful grand entry I had this morning. Thank you for that, drummers. Thank you this morning for the pipe ceremonies, our elders. And wow, what a room full of energy today. What a room full of educators. Educators are very special people because you have chosen to make a difference in our children's lives. When you look at it, them children spend more awake time with you than they do at home. From Monday to Friday, they're with you from 8:30 to 4 o'clock. When they go home, they have supper with their parents. Most of the time they go off into their room. And then it's bedtime. So you spend the most time, awake time, with our children more than anybody else. And you have chosen as a profession to take that responsibility on. And thank you very much for that. Thank you for taking that responsibility on. Give yourself a hand for that. The Meadow Lake Tribal Council is a very special organization. Very special because we're of two linguistic groups. We're Dene and we're Cree. And that relationship has been there for years and years and years and years, longer than I've been around. The relationship has been there. And now I sometimes hear about Dene or Cree or Dene. And I want you to remember this, of what our elders of this organization years and years ago that started this in the early 80s, in the late 70s actually. The uniqueness of bringing these two linguistic groups together as one for one common goal, to get what we need in Northwest Saskatchewan. Because without unity, things are tough. Now that's in the political arena. Now think about it in your schools. Unity, what that means in the schools, unity, of how important it is that the staff are all unified in everything that you do, that you help each other out, that you do all thinking about the children, thinking about what's for best for the children, how important that is. Now let's take it one down, one more. Home. The unity at home. When mom and dad or whoever the parents or the caregivers of these children are, they will pick. If there's two sides, the child will pick one side. That is not unity. We want unity starting from at home, in our school, in our organizations. Because you know why? Because Meadow Lake's special like that. We are special because we've been doing this for over 50 years, and being political, being in our schools, being whatever it is, we all come together for one common goal: to be better in Northwest Saskatchewan than we were yesterday. And that's a goal. I want to speak directly to the educators. I have so much respect for educators. I've got two in my family. Well, three actually. My wife's in early childhood. I got one daughter that's been a teacher for 12 or 13 years, and I got one daughter that's a TA in Flying Dust. And I think it's the most honest, I think it's the most valuable profession there is. I respect teachers with everything. Because as I indicated when I first started, them kids are with you for 10 hours a day. And you treat them kids like they're all your own. You treat each and every one of them like your own. Now that's special. Another ones I tip my hats off to is men that take on children that aren't their own. They're special men. Because I have a brother that took on, in his second marriage, he took on 5 kids. Not his kids by blood, but they're his kids. And that's special to me. Not everybody can do that. I invite you to come here in the next 3 days with open minds, open hearts, share with each other. I want to see unification. I want to see unity. I want to see people mingling amongst each other, talking to each other. This is what this is about. It's about sharing. It's about being one. It's about coming together. It's about learning new things for our children. You know, as I look into schools today, I see more and more of ADHD, all these new acronyms that were there all the time when we were growing up. But what they used to do, they just used to shoot you a pill of that Ritalin. But today we're doing it different. We're learning. It's not that it wasn't there all the time. It's just that it's being more focused on. And that's good because we're learning to do it without drugs with our kids. Teaching them the right way, teaching them how to handle their aggression or their anger or whatever it may be. Our teachers are getting so smart and so educated now. With that, you know, on behalf of Tribal Chief Jeremy Norman and Vice Chief Norma Catarat, who are both in Ottawa fighting on our behalf with ministers right now. They send their regrets of not being here, but I know they're here in heart. They're here in soul. I believe Norma will be here for the next 2 days supporting Willis, emceeing for the next couple days. Next couple days, she'll be supporting him. I want to wish you all the best. I am going home after today. I'm going home to a men's conference in Flying Dust, and then I'll be back here Friday for the closing ceremonies. I wish you all the best. Enjoy yourselves. Mingle. Let's get unified. Let's talk to each other. Let's share our ideas. Aho.
Just don't shack up, okay? Yeah. Thank you. I am told there's a lot of people, there's a lot of space here. Some people said there's no room to sit. But a lot of empty seats here around. Don't be shy. Go to a different nation if you have to. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue on here. I am told our lunch hour is very crucial. The time. That hour, we've got to get things done. So I'll call upon our MLTC CEO, Gordon Iron here. A big round of applause for welcome him to the stage here. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you to the elders for the pipe. What a great scene to walk in and witness the entry. It was beautiful. I asked Vice Chief if he was winded. I was trying to get ahead of him because I know he speaks long, and he said, no, I'm good to go, so he come up here. But thank you for that very good words there, Vice Chief. You know, he's serious when he's up here, and he never made one joke. That's the first, but you guys will get it back on the last day. I think you'll get a lot of that then. Anyway, I want to thank our staff, Patricia and the team, for putting this together. 8 years now. I think this is my second or third time I've been at this, just because of scheduling. But it's great to see, you know, the theme of including and belonging. You heard some of that in the speech from our Vice Chief. To me, one of the things that I really promote at the Tribal Council with our staff, our departments, I talk about working in unity, working in hubs. And when I hear belonging, including and belonging, I look at the flag, Every Child Matters. The handoffs that take place for our children. Vice Chief talked about the early learning, and then the education, and then our elders are always there, and the parents, the jobs, everybody has a role. And it's so important that we work together. We can't be operating in silos. We have so much resources when we come together, when we use our education department, along with our health, our CFS, and our program services, we can do more. We got land-based education culture. It's something that we protect, something that we encourage. And language, we hear from the elders. If you want to know who you are, it goes by identifying yourself through language. I didn't speak a word of Cree. I was even too shy to say Tanse until I was 19 years old. I came through the Métis community of Isle La Crosse. That's where I got my education. I was an outsider, but I was an insider. Outsider because of the distinction of Métis and First Nation. The summer jobs that were there, I was applying. The funding is only for the Métis students. Today, we're carrying the flag of the Métis. We're including Métis here. We recognize that we have family. My mom's Métis, my dad's First Nation. And it's important that we keep that. We're all family in a lot of ways, and we got to remember that. I want to acknowledge the chiefs that are here. I thank you for supporting and coming and taking part here today. It means a lot to the staff, it means a lot to us, and it means a lot to the people here. Your leadership is important, and when you're working and walking with us, it means a lot to us. I don't want to take too much time I know there's a 3-day agenda here, but I want to thank the education staff for giving me 10 minutes notice to come up here and speak, so I'm winging it. I hope you could appreciate it. And I'm actually glad that you guys are listening. Anyway, with that, I'm not an educator, but I was educated from educators. I also respect the educators. I was one of those students that did not want to miss school because I had incentive. Incentive was sports. As long as I maintained a certain attendance, I could stay on the team sports. That was my incentive. And that type of stuff is finding those incentives for the children because we all excel in different areas. Our vice chief he excelled in volleyball, he excelled in basketball, he was a hockey player, he was a fighter in hockey if he had to. And, you know, I think Chief Tyson even seen a video of his clenched in Alberta. He was ready to drop a guy that was being kind of cruel to our culture. So he's a tough guy, he's an athlete, he's everything. He's a good speaker. I had to make fun of him because I know it comes back. He usually starts it. But with that, I want to thank everybody. Enjoy the 3 days. And like the Vice Chief said, mingle, get to know each other. Let's toss around some ideas. Let's build. The main thing is let's keep in mind the children. How do we keep the children busy with good stuff? I talked to a friend of mine from Buffalo River last night, and we were talking about how the children are sponge. They take everything. Even when you think they're not listening, they take it in. The best time is the early learning and then education at the school. If you can get their interest, get that message to them, let's get them away from the gangs, let's get them away from the addictions. Let's work together on that. So with that, thank you very much.
Hi, thank you. We're all waiting for that basketball story there from Vice Chief, but the only other man who's got more accolades is Cal Arcan here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, CEO Gordon Iron. Up next, we're going to call upon Chairwoman of the Board of Education, Chief Amanda Ernest. Chief Amanda Ernest. Oh, way back there. Oh, yeah. I haven't met her yet, so I got no stories of her. But yeah, it's good that Vice Chief is going to be coming up here too. You know, it's a reminder of what it used to be like. You know, and some of the past leaders are not here with us, so it's very special to be able to do that with Vice Chief here today. So Masi Cho, and let's give him a warm welcome here again for Chief Ernest Masi.
Thank you. Hi. I hate doing stairs. There's only 2 steps. Okay, I just want to say good morning, everyone. I want to say hi to the elders for saying the prayer and lifting the pipe this morning to start our day and week in a good way, bringing us good thoughts, good blessings, and guidance. I just want to remind everyone I have to cut my speech short, thanks to somebody here. But in many of our teachings, we are reminded that our children are a gift from the Creator and that it takes a community to help raise them. Today, we would like to take a moment to recognize and acknowledge our incredible teaching staff. Teachers play a vital role in shaping the minds, confidence, and character of our students, our children. Your dedication goes far beyond the classroom. Each day, you help guide our young people along their learning journey, encouraging them to be curious, strong, and proud of who they are. You create spaces where students feel welcomed, supported, and safe to grow, learn, and share their voices. Every day you bring patience, creativity, and kindness to your work. The lessons you teach reach far beyond books and classrooms. You are helping our students build confidence, respect, and responsibility. Values that will stay with them as they walk this path. We truly appreciate the time, effort, and care you give to mentoring and supporting our children. Your work helps strengthen our community and supports the future of our children. On behalf of everyone here, I thank you all for your commitment, your heart, and the meaningful difference you make each and every day for our children, our future. I just want to thank MLTC, Patricia, and the education staff for setting up the conference. And it's always a good turnout with our First Nations coming together. And I acknowledge chief and councils from each community for showing their support for their teachers, their education staff that go a long way. They look after our children, and for us as parents, we give them that trust. We have that trust in them, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for all the teachers, all the EAs, all the special dignitaries, and everyone that's here. So with that, I wish you all good week, good days, and good blessings. Hi, hi.
Hi, hi. Thank you, thank you. Masicho, hi, hi. So once again, just a friendly reminder, don't leave anything in your vehicles outside. I got to keep reminding everybody. If you're parked across the way. So also, there are lots of seats open. I don't know why anybody asked for more seats. So please don't take that upon yourself to ask for more seats. There are a lot of tables open, and join some new relatives, new friends. So thank you very much. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call upon our FSIN Executive Director of Education, Dolores Netmaker, to welcome from, say a few words from FSIN. So let's give her a warm welcome. Masicho, thank you. And then we're going to have lunch right at 12 to 1. I'll tell you why in a minute, but it's important. Thank you.
Well, I would just want to say greetings, Danse, and just on, my name is Dolores Netmaker from Big River First Nation. Dolores Netmaker, niyan sigason, mistay sipio chinia. Iko, nanas ko man ugot, kapi kuitim se kapi piks ko yan, apsis ni sa notituan. I don't have my glasses, so I had to rewrite a little bit of my speech in bigger letters. And I don't normally write anything. I usually like to do what our vice chief did and our CEO did. But there's some Cree words that I want to share with you today. And I was thinking about the words that they brought up. The theme that they have today is including and belonging. And one of the things that Vice Chief talked about was a coming together and being as one. Mamoa toskiak. And I think I left my cell phone there, Vice Chief. Can you bring it over here? Thank you. Askomana, there are times when I get asked to go and speak to the people in the province. And normally I don't take any notes. I like I said, I just like to say a few things to them and always remind them of the work that they need to do with our kids as they enter into the city schools. And one of the things I wanted to share with them was that word mamoitoskiak, to working together. In the English word, I think the best word that I can think of is the word collaboration. And this is that word in English, it's called collaboration. It's a meaning, it is a process of two or more people, teams or organizations working together to achieve a common goal. Collaboration is strategic, it's purposeful, and it is a partnership focused to gain a better education, outcomes for all learners. And one of the things I remind them, and I want to remind us here today, I think one of the things that we've experienced in Native land, and I wish that it wasn't that the way that it is sometimes. I remember we sat together in a meeting. If you remember Vice Chief DeRocher, we sat in a meeting in Saskatoon Inn, and it talked about, there was a young man that came and talked about the future and what to expect in the future. And sometimes when I think about the future, I think about some of the things that our elders have said. They said, in the future, it's going to get hard. And even as we walked through COVID, I thought that's what they were talking about, that this thing that we went through COVID was going to be a tough time, and it was. But we came through that. We walked through that and did the best we could through that. But I knew that as we walked in through COVID, even before COVID, our children, even in the provincial system and probably in our classrooms, our children were always academically low. And I don't know, I would go to those meetings with the province and I say, how can you be so complacent? How could you settle and be so comfortable knowing that our Indigenous students are not doing well? And you know how it is, if you do the same thing over and over again, it is, and you've heard it, it is a sign of insanity. If you keep doing things the same thing, the same way over and over again, you're going to get the same results. We've heard that. And so I challenged the province and I said, so let's do things differently. Let's change it up a bit, because we need to see our averages of our students going up. We need to see their reading levels and their numeracy. We need to see them succeeding. We need to see the bars going up for them. We need to think about ourselves too. I think about a lot of times we depend on other people. I think one of the things, the greatest things that the government has done right from Gayash ago, that they have taught us, have embedded in us how to depend on them. Any time that you have a dependency on anybody over finances, we become a slave to them. Anytime. Have you ever had anybody borrow money off of you and they say they're going to pay you back? And when they never do, they see you in the store, they want to dodge you and avoid you? Ever had people like that? But in some sense, you become a slave to them because they don't want to see you. They want to dodge you. But the government has set us up so that we would depend on them for our finances. And one of the things that we need to know and believe within ourselves, even as educators and leaders in our community, we need to know and believe that we can do it ourselves. That means the teaching of our kids. I'm so glad for land-based teachings. I wish it was there when I was going to school, because there's so much good that can come out of that, so much, relationship building. One of the things about this, speaking of the language, my mom is 75 years old, and she's probably the only one that I feel so comfortable in talking Cree with, because I can make a mistake and she'll just keep me talking because she knows, but the Cree language with our elders and those that know how to speak the language, we feel comfortable. And the CEO here has talked about how language is part of our identity. It really is. So those are the things. We cannot depend on government to do that for us. We need to do it ourselves, even within us, but even more so with our children. In any kind of work that I do, I always say I'm not getting any younger, so I need to train the younger ones behind me so they can keep the work that I'm doing today forward, moving forward. And so in our nations today, I remember when Vice Chief Morley Watson was my vice chief, he asked me a question. He said, Dolores, when do you think the day will come where we'll not be able to use residential school as an excuse, as a reason as to why we're not where we're supposed to be, as a reason to why we can't move forward? And because I recognize, even within my own family, within knowing my mom was a residential school survivor, I know the journey. I know where I'm at in that journey myself. I know that I've got to get past. I remember one time my mom was sitting in my living room, and I might have shared this before, but I remember she said to me, because I really wanted to know, because I wanted to know so that I could understand. And I said, Mom, can you just tell me what happened? And she said to me, Dolores, I know what they did to me, but I have forgiven them for what they did to me. And I think that was one of the things that, we talk about our teachings and the different things about Sagituin. Part of that teaching is also learning how to forgive. But that is so hard today. It's hard for us to forgive, and that's why the journey of residential school is so hard. Because it's not easy to go back and talk about what happened. It's not easy to go back and to go forgive the wrongs that have been done. But I tell you the truth, that there's a word, and I just forgot it here, but I'm going to just say it in Cree if I can, and if I can read my own writing. But forgiving, I don't find it here. I can't find it. But forgiveness, it really is the key to the healing of our people. And when our people are healed, then we can move forward. And it's not just about so that we can be healed and move forward. It is so urgent and it's so important for the kids and our young people that are following after us. Because we do need to move forward, but we also need to move forward in a healthy way. We talk about common goals, right? Common goals. And it's hard sometimes because we don't get on that same page. It's so hard because even in our band offices, in our communities, when we see somebody else moving forward, because we're not moving forward, we tend to want to pull that other person back. Belonging, including. Belonging needs to begin in our homes. That our children, the gifts that were given, they're referred to as gifts. If you had any gift given to you, you're going to take pride in that gift. You're going to honor that gift. You're going to look after that gift. And the greatest gift that we've been given is our children. I'm so thankful for our grandchildren. My husband and I were sitting in our living room early this morning, and he was saying, as a father, there are times I messed up as a father, but I'm so glad for second chances with my grandchildren, because the mistakes I made with my boys, I'm not going to make those same mistakes with my grandchildren. That's a moving forward. That's a forgetting of the wrongs that were done and the mistakes that have been made. And sometimes we're so hard on ourselves and the mistakes that we've made in life that we don't move and we can't move past them. But we're given a new day today. It's a new day, and it's an exciting day for our people, because whatever wrongs that were done to us, we're getting more and more educated to make things right so that we can move forward. But I want to just say thank you to the team again. I want to say thank you, Patricia. Thank you for all the work. I honestly, I've been in education for about over 30 years now. And there are times I get this, inkling just to go back into that classroom. But it's also a new day in this classroom for our students. It's not like how it was way back when I was in school in the early 70s. Times have changed. Things have changed, and our children are living in such a different world. So we need to pray for our leaders, pray for our chief and our councils as they make decisions for our children and our school systems. that we can make it better for our kids. And I know that we can. I really believe that we can. So with that, nanaskom tanoao gitam, Patricia and your team, thank you for bringing us together, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of days. Igose, nanaskom tanoao.
Thank you, Masi Cho. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, up next, I'm going to invite our Senior Director of Education from MLTC here, Patricia St. Denis. So give her a big round of applause here, one of the organizers.
Thank you, Willis. I'm a mover. I can't stay at a podium. As Liz would say, the superintendent, I'm undiagnosed ADHD. And I totally believe her. Good morning. My name is Patricia St. Denis. I'm the Senior Director of Education of Meadow Lake Tribal Council. And I'm a member of Cumberland House Cree Nation, Swampy Cree Way on the east side, Treaty 5 territory. But for basically my whole life, I've been in Treaty 6 territory. And it's with an honor that I get to work with Meadow Lake Tribal Council, the most innovative, the most respected tribal council in the whole world. Yes, thank you. Ha. Clap. Ha, just kidding. So in our conference, it wasn't me. It wasn't the education staff that said, this is what our conference is going to be about. It was our principals. They're the ones who decided that we want to learn and we want to put out and plant seeds with educators in that belonging, that gagamau, and that nutsi, and that inclusion. Before I get off, I sometimes, see this is my ADHD working, I forgot to say thank you so very much, my elders this morning. When I joined the pipe ceremony, I told my kukum, I said, I don't know if this is a good word to use, but I was really excited because when I walked into our room where we did the pipe ceremony, there was a kukum pipe there. And so that would have been the second time that I would have been able to participate in ceremony with a kukum pipe. So thank you very much, kukum, for that. And I asked her if I could bring that up. And so my heart was just filled. And with leadership, our chief and council for our 9 nations, thank you so very much for supporting our schools and for being here. I love you from the top of my head down to the bottoms of my feet, and I thank you. For all of the educators that are not working at our 9 nations, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that you're saying, you know what, the Full Circle Conference is where I want to attend. Because I want to be able to come and learn, and then take back all the things on learning about how our students' brains work. Yes, there's spectrums of autism, neurodiversity. I'm not sure what word to use, but I do know this, that every single one of our students that come into our schools have a way of learning. It is our utmost responsibility as an educator, and doesn't matter to me what kind of an educator you are. It doesn't matter to me if you're a teacher. It doesn't matter to me if you're a school-based administration, if you are an educational assistant, a janitor, a bus driver. It's our responsibility to find out how our kids' brains work. And then I heard another conversation was, why is our Full Circle Conference, which is based out of land, language, relationships, and culture, all about autism? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can totally communicate on how that matches up. So when you think of land, language, relationships, and culture, relationships is a connection to that neurodiversity, to that spectrums and autism. Because the first and foremost thing that we need to make sure that we do is to have those relationships with our students. Because once you have relationships with them, once they know, can smell, can see, can feel that you love them, they will work so hard for you. And then you come to a conference like this, or you have professional development at your school to learn about those strategies. And I always like to say, I always carry around this imaginary toolbox with me. If I'm going to learn strategies and tools on the way to connect to students about their way their brain works, I'm going to put that in my toolbox. So I want you to fill your toolbox this week. We have great and powerful keynotes. We have great sessions that are going to be able to give you a starting point. So that you, by the end of this conference, you can't, I always say this, my staff know you can't unlearn what you learned for the next 3 days. Like my Vice Chief Richard DeRocher said, open up your heart. Vibe, ask, and just soak in all of the knowledge that is going to be passed to you. Share that with one another, have discussions with one another. And let's have ourselves a really good time. I do want to thank my education staff for working tirelessly to have the Full Circle Conference, the best representation of Meadow Lake Tribal Council, that we give out quality, that we give out meaningful and authentic connections to everybody that's in this room, and for our visitors and for our home, our people that are in our family from the 9 nations. And then I also want to say thank you to TCU, Nathan for IOPS, because this is being live broadcasted. So thank you very much. Our vendors that are downstairs, way in the basement. Okay, so go and see them. There's so many good things down there, just beautiful. I've already been there. Cal Arcand, he's going to be like asking people and doing a little bit of interviews. We have him for 1 day. So let's just make sure we make him so tired, because then he heads up to our neck of the woods in Meadow Lake to go and do some gigs over there, right? Still within our tribal council, so we'll share you, okay? It's with great honor that I welcome every single one of you here. And yeah, have yourself a great time. ¿Cómo estás? It's 12:01.
Thank
I did
you.
good.
Yes. Well, me, I have ADHD, so I got to move around. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. It is now lunch hour. We cannot go past 1 o'clock for our lunch hour, so grab what you need and have lunch. We've had our prayer here this morning as well. So, yeah, what do you say? What do you know there, Vice Chief?
Well, I know that our elders are ready to do prayer for our lunch. I have the elders back there right now. And there they are over there.
Oh,
Once
there
they're done,
they are.
if we'll just rise, please, for prayer for our lunch, and then we'll have the elders do the prayer. We'll do that. And 1 o'clock's drop dead for lunch, so we got to quit eating by 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yep.
So if we would please just stand in silence for our elders. Thank you. Aho. Mitsuk. Say it then, anybody.
Chutli.
Chutli Mitsuk.
Chutli. So, ladies and gentlemen, after lunch, we will not be serving after 1. That is very crucial. And we're going to start our afternoon program here, just like we're calling bingo here, right? What do you think?
Yeah. We will play bingo.
So once again, thank you very much for all being here. All our elders, knowledge keepers, educators, everybody, welcome. Chiefs, council, dignitaries. I know I've seen a lot of leadership from each community as well.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great, Willis? Seeing
Top
all our
play.
chiefs, our council here to support our education, to support our teachers, to support our organizations. Right on. Thank you very much for the leadership that is here this morning.
Also, another friendly reminder, don't leave anything in your vehicle. We're going to keep reminding you. Patricia has let me know that to remind people, don't leave anything, and also go see the vendors downstairs. Ahoo.
Those of you that are like me, haven't bought your wife or your significant other your Valentine's gift yet, I suggest you go downstairs and spend a little bit of money that you do have. I think I've got to do that. My wife bought me a gift on Valentine's, and she gave it to me. I was sitting on my chair watching a hockey game, and she gave it to me, and I haven't opened it since because I didn't give her a gift. I didn't get her a gift. So I'm going downstairs and finding a gift for sure.
Maybe you'll just re-gift it.
Yeah, we can go get lunch.
Does anybody have a silver Toyota SUV? Your window is wide open across. Toyota silver SUV. Where is it? In the parking lot across. Wide open. Window is open. So, once again, don't leave anything in your vehicles. Thank you very much. Toyota white SUV in the parking lot. Your window is wide open. Just free for the taking.
Sorry for the interruption. As you were going through the lunch, please make sure that it's one bento box per person, please, and thank you.
Check. Also, don't forget there's over 30 vendors on the lower level, the basement level. Go and check out our vendors. They're all waiting. A lot of goodies down there. So if you have a moment here during lunch break, go check out the many Indigenous vendors.
Check, check. Good afternoon. There's a lady here that just put down her cell phone. And then I know that somebody picked it up and would have returned it, or would have said, you know what, this belongs to somebody, and I want to make sure that this person gets their cell phone back. So did somebody turn in a cell phone? It's an Android. So if somebody found a cell phone, can you please come and give it up to either Ryan or Luke, our tech guys up here, please, so that we can get it back to that lady that has misplaced it. Thank you.